Hello, guys. Welcome back to Clinical Scoop. It's Dan, it's Monica, it's Dr. Al Jazairli. No Chris Sauber today. Chris is busy, got his hands tied. We're deviating. It's a deviation a little bit from what we normally do. Normally, we look at clinicaltrials.gov, we analyze some studies. There's just been so much chaos this week in the news that basically the only thing that made headline was the Pfizer vaccine. Everything else was about the election and about COVID resurgence. So the vaccine was positive news. We're going to talk about the vaccine and different vaccine studies. I know that Moderna is also going to get their vaccine approved most likely in the next few weeks. So now we're going to have several vaccines for COVID. That we can talk about those things next week and the week after. But for now, we wanted to talk specifically about doctors looking to get into clinical research because Dr. Al, Chris and I did this podcast the other day, and it's never been a better time to be research naive physician than right now because there's so many studies because of COVID. All the resources are being allocated to COVID. So we still need doctors to enroll for Alzheimer's studies, for postpartum study, for cancer studies, for everything that's not COVID. And sponsors are not getting the numbers that they need because all these doctors are have all these projects, and a lot of them are tied into a lot of the sponsor resources are tied into COVID projects. And so if you're a clinician out there, physician looking to get into research, now is the best time to do it. Monica talks to doctors every day. Dr. Al talks to doctors every day. I talk to doctors almost every day. I'm about to do every day again pretty soon. But what do you think about this, Monica? What have you been seeing from the research community out there?
I actually think we've been receiving more attention, definitely. So a lot of doctors are know now more about research than they did before, and this is because of COVID.
Hmm.
And so there are more reception, and uh, and then not just obviously doctors is the main thing, but also for people that wants to get into the industry, there is no better time than right now because there are a lot of opportunities too. So, so I think the market is perfect for everybody that wants to be in research. And obviously, we need more doctors. We need more people working in research, and
Hmm.
we also need more diverse type of personnel working in research.
Latinos in clinical research. This is why we created that group with the Clinical
Yes.
Research Circle, Dr. Al. Dr. Al, you talk with doctors on a daily basis. Do you think doctors care that now is a good time to join research or not? I don't think they care about this.
My question to you and Monica, every day you talk to doctors. What's your impression about recruiting doctor to research circle? How much you were successful? Monica, you talk to doctors every day trying to recruit them to the research. How many did you recruit in the last week, 2 weeks, month?
So I think they know more about it right now, but still, it's still hard to get them to commit to research because what happened is I think doctors also have the wrong idea about doing research. They think they have to commit all their time, or they think they are not going to be able to work in their separate own private practice as well as having research. Well, they can do it in the same place. They can enhance their practice, and this is actually like they diversifying their own business. If a doctor think about business, this is a really good way to diversify business within the same place. Because at the end of the day, if they have to go to their own practice every day, right? Or pretty much every day. They have all the stuff already. It won't be much change if they add a clinical research coordinator, and if they have to see some extra patients here and there, but it's not like time consuming. It's not as large as if they was like seeing patients, like a regular type of patients. They take with one of these patients 1 hour in the visit, correct? While in research, the part that they have to do is not as long. It's probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and that's it.
Yes,
And it's not every visit.
I know, but they don't know that. They think that once they get to research, they have to commit to it, and like this, even
Bombarded.
yeah, bombarded, and even for me, okay, when I try to have a study like for GI, I try to get a doctor for that. For GI, I will have a very hard time to have this doctor to do like come and sign papers in my office,
Yeah.
like regarding, okay, I have the patient, I have the protocol, I have everything. I I have a PI. I'm asking the PI, okay, I'll come today, I'll come tomorrow, I'll come today, I'll come tomorrow. And this is how it is because just they're very, very busy and they don't find the time to research. So my advice, if you want to recruit a physician, make sure the number one, he is committed or he have a plan to do that. Okay, a plan to be involved in research as at least to do the minimum that required for him as a PI. Okay, me as a
Yeah.
sub PI in most of the study. Okay, I that's why I try to do, but I need the PI like for certain meeting for certain things, and this is where having hard
So,
time to.
so I have a question for you, Dr. Al, because I do talk to physicians also, and doctors tend to be skeptical people, and probably with good reason. So how do you get past they already have the preconceived notion that research is going to take a lot of time and it's going to be a lot of headaches for them. So how do you personally, when you're recruiting doctors, approach them? Because you are a doctor yourself, so for you should be easier, no? Because
It's
they're
easier for me because I offer them to be a PI because of their specialty. I'm not looking for a certain type of study, but I'll be the CP sub PI and I will take over all the regulatory and everything else that done for them. They have to see the patient as in a regular visit, fill out the note, and then I'll I'll file it, I'll upload it, I'll do everything else through my coordinators.
Mhm.
So that's the only thing that I have time.
Yeah, but you know these doctors, because they're skeptical, no matter what you say, they're going to believe what they believe anyways. So how do you approach them? Do you agree with them or do you tell them no? Do you try to argue and say, no, this is, you have it wrong. This is not how it is.
That's a personal thing, you know. Most of the doctors that I recruit in my to my clinical trial are my friends. So I take them as a friendly approach with them, and like this, they're the one I eat with them. I talk to them about the patient. We discuss cases about that. So that's the way to approach them. It's not somebody that I go and pick up
Mhm.
the phone. I need you to be a PI and
Yeah.
try to approach them this way. No,
That's
it's,
probably the
most of
best
them I.
strategy. That's probably the best strategy, even if you're not friends with them. Like, when we're gonna go to Arizona to start a clinic, I mean, instead of approaching them head on, like a lot of people, like me and Monica, and we don't do this ourselves, but a lot of people in our position, when they go recruit doctors, they don't want to take the time to get to know or explain them, so they just go head on like this, and the doctor can sense, okay, this person just wants to move too fast. And I think a better approach would be the slower approach, maybe taking them to lunch or something, explaining, like doing multiple meetings before, so that they can at least get to trust you a little bit. And most people don't want to do this because it takes more time, right? And you could be wasting time just going to lunch instead of actually signing on any doctor. But I think that's the best approach to do it, is instead of a head-on attack, it's to like like come from the flank, like Napoleon Bonaparte did in his wars. He was in the middle, big armies came all around, and he distract here and then fought on this side. So I think somehow as with the doctors too, you got to give them like dinner, here's a steak, and then you come on the other side and say, okay, well, here's my book, or here's a synopsis I got, some things
My
like that.
friend, my friend don't have time to do research. They're gonna have time to go for dinner.
We
I
took
think
doctor to dinner. Me and Monica just took
yeah,
one to dinner
yeah.
I
last month.
know you've been reading too much history.
So that won't
I
work. The
I
Napoleon strategy won't work.
Or it may. Some people, like I tell you, it's different from each one person to the other one. It's different.
Mhm.
As long you have you have the motivation to do that. That's the number one thing. You have to have motivated physician to do that, and then you can.
I think we need to educate the doctors too. Just because, like I say, they have a preconceived wrong idea about it. And this business, at the end of the day, like I was mentioning, in addition to their own business already, is diversifying their business, and it will give them more. I think it will improve the clinic because of their office, the private practice, just because they will be offering the patients an extra opportunity to do something with their health. Or what do
Yeah,
you think, doctor?
Dr. Al, are you there? Is the
I'm
internet
there,
stuck?
but I've been doing this for a long time, Dad. Okay,
You
I'm
know,
trying to approach the physician in multiple ways. Okay, and mainly I agree with Monica, and as a diversifying their business is one part, but also
mhm.
you have to have the physician that is motivated to do that.
Well, you brought up a good point, and I've been doing this 15 years now, and I've approached, I don't know, multiple dozens doctors, maybe hundreds. Okay, every single doctor that I've interacted with is a different approach, and I think that there is no one solution. But you, Dr. Al, one thing I remember I talked with you about when I first met you, you were telling me something. I think you just before you met me, because you saw my videos and then you read my book and then you contacted me. So you already knew me. Um, Before I came, you met with like a SMO people, and I remember one of the first things you told me was, "Do you know anything about these guys?" And I said, "No, I don't know who that is." And
I remember, very good memory then. Very good
okay,
memory.
so then you
Exactly.
told
I was meeting another SMO, and I
exactly.
was trying to negotiate with them to of them and everything, but it didn't work. And at the same time, I was talking to you about how to do the business with you and everything. Yes,
Yeah.
very good memory
So
then.
what was it? What was it specifically about those people that turned you off? Because I think that's going to help a lot of people watching. So
That's
what
right.
was it that turned you away from those people? Because you mentioned it to me, and I never even met you before.
Wasting time. They like I had with them in almost in a week, 2 or 3 meetings, me and my partner, and at the same time there is nothing comes out of meetings. Okay, they just want to do this, want to do this, want to do this. Okay, let's get to business. Okay, we'll do business. Okay, there was no clear cut what they want to do exactly, and they have all plans. They want to do phase one. They want to building to do phase one study. They want to do X, Y, Z. They want to do okay. Let me see something that crystallized to do it.
So you didn't believe them, or
No, I believe, but they never like materialized for me anything out to start with.
okay, so they didn't actually do anything. They didn't present you anything that you thought was
No,
practical.
no,
Okay.
nothing practical that's really can work with or do clinical trial too. They brought me a couple of tissue studies that they've been collecting. They've been doing for many years. They want me to be involved in tissue collection and all this.
So
That's not my part.
how should they approach you? If you were them and you were approaching yourself, how would you have done it differently?
The way you did it. We have this product. We have this product. Okay, we're gonna do this with you. This is what you need to do. This is what we need and that's how it is. Okay.
What if you don't have a
Straight to the
study? Like,
point.
what if you don't have a study, but you want to talk to this doctor about future study? But you don't have any studies to offer. You're just talking about, hey, you want to be a PI. How would you do this?
Hey, you want to be a PI? You're gonna ask me what? Hey, what's PI? I tell them, hey, PI is principal investigator. Hey, you want to be a PI?
Exactly. Okay, good. So that's a good start. So hey, do you know anything about research? Have you considered doing research, something like
Most
this?
of the physicians they know about research, okay, but they don't know to approach it, how to do it, and as you said, the misconception about research in general between physician as time taking, time consuming, difficult to can make money, but it's difficult to recruit, difficult to do, and there is a lot of legality about it, and you have to be, a lot of misconception in each physician is different. The one who did once or twice, the one who never did any research. Okay,
Okay.
so
Yeah, that's another thing about the legality about it. And at the end of the day, they are not doing anything different than being a doctor when they are part of research, taking like overseeing patients, making sure that patients are safe. That's pretty much their major responsibility, correct? I mean, in research. So it's not different than being a doctor.
no, I think it is being a doctor, but this is different type of doctor. Okay, I have a lady today who came to me and she's on Hoffman study. Okay,
Hmm.
I I she's been on treatment. She finished 2 cycles, and at the and I restage her now according to the protocol. I have to restage her, and her tumor progressed from 2.7 to 3.7. Okay, so it used to be 2.7 by 3. Now it is 3.7 by 3. So it's almost like more than 30% increase in the size for this tumor. So I have to take her off the trial. So sitting with her, spending time with her, explaining for her what's happened, and like this is more than just the time that I spend with a patient to tell her that I'm going to start you in the chemo. Okay, I have to tell her why I took her out this study, why I'm going to put her on another treatment or any other stuff. Okay, and what the side effect of the new treatment,
Hmm.
what's the downside, what's the benefit, what's the risk, what's her option. So instead of spending about 20 minutes, 30 minutes talking to her as a follow-up patient, is spent with her more than 45, 50 minutes just talking in general about what's happened and how we're going to proceed from here. So that's the time I'm talking about.
Hmm.
But for example, if with a regular patient that the treatment is not working, would be doing the
Yes, I would be doing the same. I know, but you don't see it as
no?
much as many as when you're doing the
Okay,
clinical trial.
Yeah, that's a
okay.
Okay.
good point because sometimes it is, like Monica said, less time than you would spend at a regular visit, non-research, but sometimes it's more times that you would spend with the patient, as opposed to general practice. So that's a good point, Dr. Al, actually.
So it's not this is not the only thing. Also, like sitting and consenting the patient, talking to the patient like this, also all time consuming. When you're gonna go and recruit a physician, if you're gonna start talking to him about these things and this duties and like this, well, most probably he's gonna shy away from you guys. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
So you have to approach like, I think the Napoleonic strategy still works, but it's a different way to go about it.
I don't think Napoleonic strategy gonna work.
Not on doctors. You guys are
You're
too
not going to
savvy.
war, my friend. You're going to have a friendly meeting with physicians.
You're too savvy. You're too savvy. These doctors. They went to medical school. They know. That's good. That's actually good take home for us, for the everyone in the community. Next week, let's see what happens in the news first of all, because maybe who knows what's gonna happen by next week. This year is like a movie that doesn't end. So next week, who
Yeah.
knows? Stay tuned to your seats, to your ears. Listen to the podcast. Watch the YouTubes, and we'll do something good for you guys on clinicaltrials.gov and maybe sprinkle a little bit of stock market. We like stock market. We like to. Last time I lost money on Biogen. Lovely, lovely time.
So that's why I told you never advise about stock.
Never advice. Only do
Never
the
advi-
opposite of what I do, and you'll be good.
No advice.
No advice. Thank you, Dr.
Go to
Al.
your meeting, Dad.
Thank you,
Okay,
Dr.
man.
Al. Thank you, Monica. Yeah, we're gonna go talk to some doctors and catch you all later, guys. Good luck. Go get
Okay.
'em.
Bye.
Bye.